Welcome back, everybody, to the Backstage Boys Podcast, episode number 81. And Basil, our intro there, like the countdown, we need to get a real intro, by the way.
I know, dude. We definitely do.
You know what I don't like? I realize it's just not what I don't like about it is that it ends on like such a dun, 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 dun.
And then it's just us.
And it's like, oh, hi. It's up to me to
Hey.
make the energy now. But like we need to end it on like a big old like boom or something, you know, like or that cool sound effect that Lucha Underground used to have, that or something at the end.
Lucha
Love that
Underground. My heart. I love that place.
Is it still streaming on like Tubi or something?
I would assume so.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was definitely streaming somewhere. So yeah.
Hey, Mark Johnson, what up, boy?
Mark Johnson,
Asparagus video. That's my boy Mark Johnson out in Cali.
What up, Mark? What's going on, man?
Shoots for like Hood Slam and a bunch of North Cali promotions and stuff like that. Very good dude. Luchotographer on Instagram and Twitter. Follow him.
Look at that. Plugs all day with the plugs.
All day.
What up, man?
Yeah, he misses Lucha Underground too.
Shit, man. Don't we all? I gotta be honest. I only watched the first season, so I gotta catch up. I heard those great I got to work with a lot of those guys, you know, from Lucha Underground, because AEW became Lucha Underground weekend bookings for a long time.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and watch. If it's still streaming, somebody let me know. I'm curious if it's still out there. But Basil, what's going on, man? It's snowing, it's freezing in Chicago. We're playing with fire though. What's going on?
We're just gonna dive right into it, boys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on?
Yeah, so I went to a new place last week.
You had a new clubhouse you were hanging out in.
New clubhouse.
Yeah, talk about this.
Went down to Jacksonville last Tuesday night, technically.
Jacksonville is the home of. Wait a minute. Wait.
The Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's right. The Jaguars. That's right.
And while they were not in the oh, look at Nate. Nate's over here. Every season's available on Tubi.
Thank you, Nathan. My favorite referee in the whole world.
Our favorite referee.
He's also one of my favorite people in the whole world. Thank you, Nate.
Exactly. I miss you, Nate, so much.
Miss him a lot.
We should just have Nate on, even if we have nothing to talk about. Just have Nate on next time or some shit. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, dude, Nate, you can if Nate's ever free, there's a chair on the buddy bench for Nate at all times. At all times. Thank you, Nate. But you want to jump right now? Are we shooting?
I also love his headshot.
Yeah, what's the headshot here?
I love it. It's a beautiful headshot. Hey, Compadre Cris.
Compadre Cris. It says he needs more Nate. So
more Nate. We're not the real stars of the show.
No,
it's Nate.
Nate, referee Nate is the man.
Just call it the Nate Stage Boys.
The Nate Stage Boys. Let's do it. Spin-off show.
There we go.
You know, we gotta get Compadre Cris and Charlie Chuck
should.
Colorado back on the show here.
Yeah, I think we all should just have like a just virtual 4-way talk on here.
I'm down.
Fuck Charlie.
Fuck Charlie. Whoa.
What's going on over here? Do we
two heels and the face
it's
have drama? It's just the one heel, no face. Damn, what's going on here? Shit.
I don't know, man. Compadre Cris is just I think he already popped back a few Modelos.
You might have. If anybody loves Modelos, my God. We should patch in a Compadre Cris for a story here, but
I know, dude. Send him the link if he's down. I'm down.
Chris, you want to pop in with the story here? He knows you too well. That's right. That's damn right. We know you too well.
Of course we do. We love you, buddy. Just because we haven't seen you in a year.
Compadre Cris, if you're at your camera or even your phone, we'll pop you in for that.
We'll pop you in for a little bit. He's down. He's down.
Should we do it right now?
Let's yeah, you know what, we'll get him in and then we'll talk about my stuff.
All right.
I'm always here. I'm boring.
All right. Chris, I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook Messenger right now. That's our boy, man.
This week is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna hear about this coming to you.
It was so cool to see the Jaguars guys. Not that my hoodie has anything to explain about this.
You're such a football fan, Basil. You're just sitting in Jacksonville. What's
I
going
love
on there?
Football so much.
Guess so, man. It
was great. I just ran onto an empty field.
Oh,
I didn't get taken down by police though.
That was you, huh?
No, because there was no cameras there. I just did it.
That's awesome. Well, Chris is about to join in a second, and we can get the skinny on the 2 heels and a face drum. What's going on here?
I don't know what's going on here. Dude,
we're going to talk about that for a few minutes.
This is the best shoot ever because we legit have zero idea of what's going on with Chris right now.
But for those who don't know, 2 heels and a face are our buddies.
I hope they're still buddies.
I hope they're still funny, but they're still buddies of ours. But I hope they're still friends.
I really hope so, man. It'd be brutal.
But yeah, Basil, you were somewhere else. You were in Jacksonville this week. Waiting for Chris to come in.
Oh, we got J-Bone. We got J-Bone on here. Smash his pod.
You're busted, bro.
I'm not busted. I was busted on BTE today. That's how I got busted.
All right, we'll talk about it. Just let cats out of the bag, Basil. Where were you last week? We're waiting for Chris anyway. Go ahead.
So yeah, I went down to Jacksonville and did a little work with this small little company, this little startup called All Elite Wrestling.
Wow.
Every Wednesday night on TNT at 8/7 Central, AEW Dark at 7/6 Central on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
No big deal. They just dropped a sick Road 2 for this Wednesday's Dynamite.
All right.
Yeah.
So you were down there doing what you do, with photography guy. That's what you were doing.
Speedy couldn't be there, so got a call. Went out over there.
Friend of the show, Speedy, who was on.
Love Speedy. Yeah, Speedy was on a few months ago or something. I don't remember. I don't know time anymore.
About a month ago.
Yeah. So filled in for him. Dude, that man has a tough job.
Yeah.
Bro, that man has a tough job. I mean, I was kind of doing a little bit more than just promos because it was essentially just trying to find out what's the best place for me there.
Yeah.
But I think Thursday we found a really good way to make this work if I do come back. Not saying I'm with the company permanently, not saying I'm going to be there every taping. Like, I don't know. Like, there's still a lot of unknown, guys. Like,
yeah.
But clearly I'm at home, so I will not be at Impact tapings this week, guys. So I'm going to let that I'm not going to be at Impact tapings. I don't know if I'm going to be at Impact tapings anymore. That's all I'm going to say about Impact. Last year, like, in that way. I mean, the last year was extremely fun. It was a lot of growth for me. I feel like I'm 10 times of a better photographer because of the situation that I was put in there. It was a very much pressure cooker situation for one photographer to handle everything that happened over there, with a lot of content that was pushed out, and I'm very proud of what I did.
Yeah.
That's really about it. I don't have anything bad to say. Like, I got to meet so many people, made so many friends. I got work in a pandemic when a lot of photographers didn't. Or had to wait on the sidelines until pretty recently to start getting some consistent work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't have anything bad to say, to be honest. It's just you move on, and that's it.
You never know what the future brings, but for right now, it's moving on. But now, Basil, we have our guest who just joined, so hold that thought.
Wrestling, just really quick. Yeah. Nothing in wrestling is forever, good or bad. High, low, work rate, anything. Nothing in wrestling is consistent. That's and apparently, 2 heels and a face follows this motto. So let's bring in Chris.
This is our boy, Compadre Cris, popping in right now. Let's get him in here. Compadre Cris.
Oh my God, full setup.
Look at that setup, bro.
Full setup. I love it. I fucking love it.
Doing a little sum to the space here.
I like it.
It's great.
Very cool.
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you guys.
Great to see
I see you guys every Monday night.
Yes, but, in person, I haven't given you one of those bro hugs in a long time,
dude. We all haven't sat down and just like shoot the shit like we usually do.
Damn, man, Chris, how you doing, man? The babies being made in the Compadre household. Oh my God, there's babies just flying around in this place
everywhere,
man. That's it. I have one in the way.
On the way, man.
And that is it. Closing down the shop. Can't.
Is that it? Afterwards? Oh, that's it, huh?
He's gonna close it down the shop.
That's one last one and done.
Is it the intake or the outtake that's gonna be closed down?
Look, at this point, we might just flip a coin.
Nate, if you're gonna say Chris, spell his name correctly, please.
Please, Nate.
Yeah, come on, Nate.
How dare you? How dare you?
The way Nate picks on you about the JLM.
I just wanted to say it because Nate really picks on us for spelling. And this is just like a redemption moment.
Yes, Nathan. Referee
Nathan.
We should get Nate on next week and catch up with what he's been up to. But Chris, what's the drama here with the two wheels on the face?
There's no drama, bro.
What the fuck? Did you just kayfabe your way onto this podcast? Did you just swerve us?
Yeah, just throw some little heat your way, and
Chris, I want you to make something up, man. You got to make something up, bro, at this point. I mean, come on.
No, I mean, we were supposed to, with Charlie, things are good. He's been really busy with work. And we were supposed to record last week. I ended up doing a buffet line.
The classic buffet line too.
We love buffet lines, man. Why the fuck don't you call your two friends who also do podcasting?
Because you're on every night in every show possible.
No, Trent is.
I am constantly.
Trent is on every.
But for you, bro, there's no limit. I mean, I'll be. You tell me to be on, I'm on. I'm.
Dude, your family. Don't get it twisted, bro. Your
family rates are expensive too. So
we don't charge you shit. Shut up. How dare you?
Yeah, no, man. Things are good. Like I said, Charlie's been busy. There's no real heat. Aside of getting him crap for not.
I kind of wanted heat.
I was hoping there was heat.
For being too busy bored. When I'm like, bro, I'm extremely busy. But all right, I get it. Man, but it's all good. You guys have been doing great. I love the whole streamcast, like streaming everywhere, doing this video thing.
I was doing it for the Impact podcast, and then we pay for we got the service, and I said to Basil, I'm like, this kind of kept us on a schedule. I mean, usually Monday nights was my band night. Hemi would be in the studio. But with the pandemic, our schedule is up and down with that as well. So we were just like, you know what? My Mondays are free, and we might even end up moving that anyway. So Mondays will stay Backstage Boys night, even when the band gets back to every week. So we're like, why don't we just go live? I mean, we're not watching Raw, so
we're not watching Raw. Yeah. That's for damn sure. I don't think any of us are, but it's like, isn't it crazy? Like, we're all in this because we all grew up watching Raw, and now we're just like, I'm not even thinking about that show.
Yeah, Chris, are you still watching WWE stuff? Are you guys still?
I watched the Rumble.
We all watched the Rumble,
right? Yeah, I watched the Rumble. I am still subscribed. Well, not still. I came back on because Stone Cold started releasing more episodes. The Broken Skull Ranch.
Is so fantastic.
So I'll listen to that. I'll watch that. But nothing else really. Like, I knew that the Rumble was coming up, so I'm like, I'll stick with it, write it out, see what's up. But yeah, no, WWE, I haven't really watched anything. So that was also why I was excited about the Rumble. I'm like, I don't know what really is going on. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I was not disappointed. It was pretty good. I actually just a little bit WWE talk here. The Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. I think that was like the best match. I really enjoyed that, but the finish was awful.
I was so into that match, and then when they
I didn't know I wanted to watch it.
When they fudged up that ending, like, it would have been perfect if it didn't take 30 seconds to break Roman out of those handcuffs. And then you literally see the ref, he counts to 5, and then he looks down at Roman, and he's just like, fuck it, we're done counting.
Wow.
And that's, if they didn't count, the thing is, what killed it, if they didn't remind us that the new ref started counting, and it was just Roman trying to get out, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But the count and then panning away from the ref and just looking at Roman and Paul trying to unlock for a minute was horrible. It was like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Well, hey, look, it's not going to cost you anything now. They're moving to Peacock. You get it for nothing. It's like pennies at this point.
$5 for the right. Basic package or whatever.
I
think I'm still gonna do the $10 one, because on the $10 one, I think you get to unlock all the episodes of The Office. I mean, that's the real reason to get it.
I've been watching Roseanne. I've been watching Roseanne on Peacock.
Do you know what I want to try to find? Hey, Chris, have you been watching WandaVision?
No, I have not.
Okay, so there's a scene where they spoof Family Ties, and now I want to watch all of Family Ties.
Are you serious, dude? I love Family Ties.
They spoofed the intro with Vision and Wanda, and it was hilarious because they had shoot pictures of Wanda as a kid, like from her real life, and then you see
Wanda Sykes. Is that what we're talking about?
No, the character is Wanda from the Avengers.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Wanda Sykes.
No. And then
I do love me some Wanda Sykes though.
Wanda Sykes hilarious. And then you see Vision, the guy who was all in the red, who was the robot. You see baby pictures of him, and they have like little baby with the red helmet and all that stuff, and it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
So now I want to watch Family Ties with old school Leonardo DiCaprio in there.
No, Michael J. Fox, bro. Growing Pains is Family.
Growing Pains, that's what it is, not Family Ties.
No, wow, Growing Pains is Leo. Yeah.
Growing Pains.
Two different worlds here. You're in
that's what they're making. That's what they were.
Dude,
that's the one. That's with who's the
Kirk Cameron.
Kirk Cameron, yeah, Candace Cameron's brother.
Yes, that's Growing Pains.
Growing Pains, that's the one.
Classic shit, classic stuff. 80s sitcoms all day. That's my thing. I just patted my shirt. I want to give a shout out to my boy Scott Wool over in St. Louis, who sent me this shirt from the record space, in St. Louis. So thank you to Scott. I appreciate that, brother.
Solid.
He listens every week to the show, so thank you. So yeah, Chris, what else is going on, man? What's new tools in the face? Like, catch us up here. You guys are there's no damn shows. That's the thing that sucks about this whole thing.
Yeah. There's no shows. We're trying to figure out, like, there's a couple guys that we've been wanting to have on. So just, trying to book that, but also, like trying out watch-alongs.
Yeah, I saw that. I think
we did we don't know. We haven't even asked James from Freelance Underground, but it was the first episode or the oldest episode that they have in the IWTV library for Freelance Underground. So we did that. We're just kind of scrambling it a little bit, right? Because there's not a whole lot to talk about in the indie scene.
It's tough, bro. It's tough because you guys were indie focused, man. I mean, you guys were the indie podcast. That's what that's it. The go-to for Chicago. And if there's no shows, it's like, damn, what can we do?
how do you stay, pumping out episodes without having a huge gap?
Yeah. It's true, man. But I gotta say, for anybody who's listening live and our listeners who are new, carryovers from other shows and stuff, Two Heels and a Face was, I literally discovered this show by just typing AAW into an iTunes search, and I was like, these guys are reviewing a show, and then I unlocked this world of like, these guys do all the indies, and then we got to be friends, and man, like they're family now. Charlie and Chris are like our whole family. We've been on each other's shows. We hang out all the time. Prior to this bullshit, we were always hanging out together and stuff. So, but you guys were, I would learn of other indie stuff going on in Chicago through you guys. There's like Zello, freelance stuff. I learned it from you guys, what's happening, just to keep an eye on stuff. It's like I don't have time to watch it.
And being in Chicago was one of those things that is like, it was a hotbed for indie promotions. We had
everything. Like there was not everything. But literally I remember I had probably like a 3-month period where I had at least one indie show every weekend.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And I think maybe 1 or 2 of those times I had to go out of state or something like that, but it wasn't anything. It was maybe St. Louis or going to like Wisconsin or some bullshit or whatever. Like, but overall, like our scene was solid. And now I'm just like, I'm wondering like what's going to be the state of everything when we get back.
Right. There were weekends where you're like, well, if I go to this show, can I make it to the other show? Or am I going to miss out on this? So then Charlie and I would split, or, just trying to figure out like how to attend everything and be everywhere. It was lots of fun, but I'm sure that Carla, my fiance, was not so happy that every weekend I was out and about.
and let's not forget the merch. Boys. Let's not forget the merch budget that went along with you being out and about. The merch was out of control. There were times when you would be buying something, and the first thing I'd ask Basil would be like, "Does Carla know about this one? Has it been approved by the management yet?"
How much did you spend?
She has to approve the expenses.
the one that I was particular, Chris, the one I remember was you got La Parca's mask,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not an easy feat, Basil. That had a price tag on it for sure. And I was like,
that was the most I've spent on a mask. So
I
far.
remember, that's why I asked. I'm like, has this one cleared management yet? And you're like, it might have to wait till tomorrow or something. But that was a good one. But no, go on. I'm sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to interrupt you on that.
Yeah, you did.
I did. It was a good story, man. It was a good story.
Oh, I miss this ball busting with all of us. Like,
Man.
Trent and I just do it to each other, but like we're at a point where we're just like, we don't want to lose. Like, we don't have any other friends right now.
all our Chicago friends, man. Like it's there's a net. People don't understand. There is such an amazing network in Chicago of fans who became friends, real life friends, through all this. Like you see each other enough, and then you get to know each other. And it's good people, it's such a good scene of people.
And that's what wrestling does, right?
Yeah.
Like it creates community. You start seeing the same people every month, every week, sometimes.
It was multiple times a week.
Yeah.
Multiple times a week, right? So then you end up, catching food after a show or having too many drinks during a show.
Well done.
And
Arturo's, man. I miss those Arturo nights.
Yeah, and it just creates a great environment. Like you're at a place where you want to be.
Yeah.
And just having all those like great vibes. That's why I think also like I didn't get to go out to the latest the trilogy shows with what is it? AEW Live.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get to make it to those, but I don't know what the atmosphere was. I've attended other shows that were also under that 50 cap capacity.
Mm-hmm. It's not the same.
It's so rough. It's
not the same, man. Nobody. I mean, so like I was at AEW this past week, and they have people in the crowd, but it's so spread out and it's so thin.
Yeah.
It's like a few random heads that you would see there. And then there's like, when we tape the next day, there's no fans there. So, I mean, it's where we're just relying on the wrestlers to make noise.
Yeah.
Just to have noise. And then I found out that like WWE, I guess the first time they did Thunderdome stuff or PC stuff or whatever it was, and it was quiet in there, and then they decided to pump in crowd noise into the arena now.
Oh really?
Yeah, I found that out. Bailey said something about it, like she did like an interview where like TJ Wilson or something like that talked about like how they wanted crowd noise in the arena, and it makes it feel more real for them. So
it's interesting, man. It's really, I mean, they're all doing it now. All three of the TV companies are pumping in. I mean, you got to do something just to give people an illusion, right?
You can't keep it quiet.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. All the indies should start doing it too. Of course, like just take old DVD stuff and just start putting in like fake crowd noise.
That's like a whole different element to add, man. That's like you have to have a good budget and you have to be smart.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's tough. you start taking old footage from like an old show, and all of a sudden it's like you see, I don't know, like Mance Warner and like Matt Justice, and you hear like the piped in crowd noise, and it's like Zero, yeah. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on here now? The crowd noise brought to you by Path of Redemption 2017. Like just it's tough for the indies to do, but yeah, I mean we were trying to. I mean, obviously. 50 people, even if they're all engaged making noise,
only
50 people
that pop. Yeah, like entrance pops are gone,
man.
And even like chants in the crowd are hard to start, or like some people don't want to partake because of the mask and it's uncomfortable. But I'm like, have to do what we have to do. Like I feel like we're there to be entertained by the wrestlers, but we have to give them something to work out of.
Yeah, dude, it's tough, man. It is not easy to make that work, but I gotta give it to I gotta give it to companies trying right now. It's it's tough to make that happen, but people are making it happen somehow, some way. It's working. So I mean, credit to anybody who's doing it. So
did you guys watch any of the GCW 24 hour?
I did. I watched probably Well, I was trying to watch the first day, and then that was like when all the streams were like really bad. So I didn't really catch too much of that, and then I wasn't gonna be up at like. I was so mad that Midwest block was like in the middle of the night at like 4 a.m. I was just like, I'm not watching. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I had to work. I worked both days, so I ended up live streaming like the last 3 hours on my Twitch, and it was actually fun to watch wrestling. With like everybody on the stream and stuff like that. It was just me reacting and then talking to the people in the chat and the stuff like that. So it was great.
Yeah.
That last go home show was fantastic for them. Those last 3 hours was really strong in my opinion.
I watched bits and pieces of it, but the most I watched out of those shows was the Effie's Big Gay Block.
How was that?
I just fucking love Effie, bro. Like, and he can't do no wrong. Like, he cut a promo talking about how he had not slept in I don't know how many hours, but here he goes, kind of main event in his show. It was a version of a hardcore match. But yeah, like I'm a huge fan of Effie as it was, and then like just seeing like the effort that all these guys put together and trying to be innovative, right? As we were talking about. And giving these, you know, crazy shows a shot in hopes that, you know, the fans online are engaging and making donations and, you know, and putting their part in. Like it was great to see. I mean, I know the unicorns were out there for all 24 hours or something like that.
Were they really? Holy
I think they filmed 20 something out of the 24.
Oh my God. Really? That's fantastic, man. We gotta get them on the show, Basil. You know, that's two guys we need to get on the show, man. We never had them on our show, actually. We never had Martin and John. Yeah, they've never been on the show ever. No. How's that possible?
No, we should get them on. That's actually, I'll talk to them about next week.
Chris, you had them on yours, right? They're both.
We've had Martin.
We'll shoot them a message maybe next week. We can do that.
Wow,
it's like I don't know how we didn't think about that one.
Damn,
we're
doing
crazy. All these. You know what? Everything is just going like everything's so crazy, and then like we were gonna do a show. We had a show planned for last week, but everything was so last minute. Like I got this call to go to AEW on Sunday, and I had to work all day Monday to make up some hours to like in good faith. So I had very little time to pack for this and to plan because I had an early flight on Tuesday, and we just were like, let's just not stream. I didn't want to drop the AEW bomb yet until this week.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, maybe next week we should get him on because it's just been. I mean, Trent's working all the time. I'm working all the time. And then now with me traveling to wherever else that we're going. So,
yeah. So let's do that for sure. And then Chris, we got to get you and Charlie on too, if he's ever got time. Get both of you guys
bring back, you know, some version of the hot tag.
Something. I mean, we'll just make up something to talk about. Right. We'll talk about like sitcoms or something. I don't know. There's no wrestling to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, like you mentioned, Chris, you got to be innovative, right? It's a matter of trying to just find like the other TV companies, piping in noise, using video walls, whatever you can, just to find a way to bridge the gap. And that even goes for shows like us. We have no content to talk about, no subject matter, but like, yeah, do a watch along or bring in a guest or talk about past stuff or just what got you. I mean, it's just anything to just keep content moving at the same time, you know, try to engage an audience because everybody's bored. I mean, it's not like we're the only ones. It's like all the fans are looking.
Any possibilities of a new documentary coming from the AEW production team?
Rob is usually he's always working, but he is getting married, and that's, you know, that takes up your life for at least the time being. So right. I think after he is done, and this what the thing is, it's getting the stuff on tape too. We didn't have shows to catch a lot of stuff on tape, but after things are done, his wedding's in a couple months. After that's over, and hopefully, you know, numbers keep going the way they are in Illinois, and we're on phase 4 right now. Mm-hmm. We could be at shows, you know, maybe in late spring. It seems like we can be back in April, May.
So I was thinking, like, you guys can do like, you know, a virtual premiere of some sort, you know, and
yeah,
and kind of.
It's just time.
Because you guys were trying to do some stuff also at the beginning. With the what'd you call them? The table for four or something like that.
We were doing the oh my god, the last call.
Last call. No, that was a table for four.
No, we called it something else. We called it oh my god, what was it called?
You can't remember the show that you made.
Well, dude, it was at the beginning of the pandemic.
It was like in May or something.
I know. It was so long ago.
Man,
I don't know. Somebody if Nate's watching, he'll know. He'll remember.
But like we had the whole panel. The first one was, Chris, you remember the first one? It was like we watched like four classic AEW matches.
Was it matches or a full show?
We did.
It was matches,
and then we had like Hakeem called in, Mance, Danny called in. Like it was like a whole. I mean, it was fucking fun actually. I'm surprised. I mean, it was just hard. We coordinated that one pretty nicely, just consistency. But I wish we would have kept that going. And that
I know it's a big commitment for a lot of parties, a lot of coordination, but like I don't know if I've seen anybody do something like that.
It was cool,
and it was really well produced. So I'm like,
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to the team about bringing that back in some capacity because that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to do in the beginning. I think it was
you can tap into like something not so old but somewhat recent that ties into this new fan base of AEW.
Yeah,
like if you look at 2015, 2016, you guys were talking about the underground talent, all of that talent being at AEW.
Yeah,
exactly. 2015 is when that the original it started, and then it was like by the time 2016 hit, it just exploded, and then 2017 was like peak in my opinion, because all the storylines were fleshed out by that point. It was like we were already in like this new wave. It was great because Trent, myself, Keith and Brian, like we all had this crazy vision to help Mike and Danny out, and I just felt like we were just firing on all cylinders back then.
It was like we upped the media side of things. Content was just a new thing, and
content
then Rob
is king, man. And then Rob coming in just
blew everything out of the water. That was
like fucking GameStop stock, just fucking through the roof like a goddamn rocket.
And then you acquired Nate, top talent.
Nate. Okay, so check this out. Nate has been there for a long time. Nate was
he was sneaky.
Yeah, Nate was ringside. He was grabbing all the gear and stuff like that. So
I for the first year, I just knew him as Keith's friend.
Horrible.
They're like, well, who had the year? Keith's friend. I'm like, oh, that one guy. And then I wouldn't say the full year, but maybe like at least a quarter of the year, half a year. He was Keith.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Keith's friend. But no, I mean it's again going back to your question, Chris. It's like it's being at shows gave us time to record stuff for content to make the documentaries. Obviously, no shows. It's like then you run into a situation of when do you get this stuff on tape? But I'm hoping, like I said, I'm keeping positive. I think April is looking pretty good right now for everybody, even for all promotions include. I think we can be at a point. I mean, I keep a close eye on the numbers. And Chicago is trending so well that it's like, man, we opened up. I mean, things are running again. Restaurants, stuff like that. I mean, you're essentially 1 to maybe 2 steps away from venue, live events again. So it could happen. I think, and then once we get back to that, it's like, man, tape everything, get all the content on tape and start rolling because we can hopefully have a good summer. We can feel normal by this summer, and maybe we can get to another JLMT this summer.
JLMT, baby.
But yeah, man. And I hope for everybody it works out. So we'll see what happens. It's wait and see. It really is wait and see. But being creative, just being creative with our pods, your pod, and like just finding ways to find some shit to talk about. So it all comes in time. But you guys were, Chris, like one of the OGs of like interviewing unknown Chicago, like people in the scene, like fans and production and wrestlers who know. You guys broke a lot of wrestlers in terms of like exposure to the scene. Are you guys maybe thinking about doing that again? Just virtual like interviews with just some of the guys who were just starting to come up at the time? Like
recently, like I mean, there's obviously with the freelance academy school, like we're pretty close to those guys.
Yeah.
like we initially, and I always say this, like Charlie was always adamant about it has to be in person. Like we let's do the best we can to have in-person interviews. And I was able to have, in wherever office building, I was able to have some space where we can, like, have a nice setup so we won't be piled up in a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
I loved it whenever I came to the office and stuff like that. Those were fantastic interviews.
Those are really nice, man.
Yeah,
it was so pro.
We tried to having all of those interviews in person.
Yeah.
And then like this, when things started shutting down, like really put us to the test. And it's like, well, let's start exploring, remote recording and Zoom and different avenues to capture the best audio quality.
Yeah.
And so we're like, you know what, like this is just the world right now, and we'll just do virtual interviews. So not long ago we had the Bang Bros, Davey Bang and August Matthews.
Wait, there's a team called the Bang Bros. That's
yeah.
The funny thing is that they never named themselves the Bang Bros.
They never did. I think that was a Zello name.
What?
The crowd started chanting Bang Bros in one of the promotions that they wrestled in. Because Davey Bang has this gimmick where he drinks a lot of Bang energy drinks.
Oh, okay.
I like his new gear, by the way, that he debuted at
yes.
Fight Forever. I was very happy to see him drop the cowboy gimmick a little bit.
The jeggings.
Yeah, the leggings or whatever the hell they were. But yeah, like but it was I liked his new look. I think August Matthews has been improving very, very well. I mean, it's that Freelance Academy, and you got Isaiah and you got Bryce.
Yeah.
There, I mean, you got some solid trainers. I know
Elena Black just got signed.
Elena Black. I mean,
did.
I think that's the first person out of that school to get signed by
WWE?
By a major company.
Is it really? She's the first. She's like a day one from the school.
Yeah, she's from that school.
No shit.
Yeah,
well, you might be right.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. Like, she made appearances in AEW. She was on Dark. I mean, she did extra work everywhere. I mean, she was on all three. She did all three companies in the last year and a half or so, because she did not Impact directly. She did that. What was it? The Countdown to Glory or
All Glory?
All Glory. That one. No, but she was on Countdown to Glory. She was on that the Indiana show against Jessica Havoc.
That was her.
That was her. Yeah, that was her.
She did that.
So
crazy.
So she's done all three in the last 18 months, and then
no shit,
it's paid off for her. She had a great look, and so
good for her, man. She definitely pulled it off. I mean, that's for being homegrown. Training
homegrown
for
from
WWE.
Chicago,
and honestly, not a lot of years in the business. Like she's, I think, had four. Like she's been training for a long time, but like actually, wrestling or so, like it wasn't. That much time put together, and once the news broke, I was like, "Whoa, like good for her."
Yeah,
that's one of the things we talk about though, because that's one of my things. It's like, man, they're scooping these people up so quick before they even get like proper runs on the indies, and it's like, man, I guess right now it's a battle between who gets who, because there's people competing left and right.
Indies are going to be so different when we get back.
Oh my god!
Because of just how much has been like soaked up.
And even more, there's more waves coming.
Last year or last year.
Yeah.
When the rumor about AEW being a thing started, people getting signed, even Impact started scooping people up.
There's a
that
lot,
started
man.
there, and then the indies looked a whole lot different. From the hype days.
Dude, it was all 2020 was literally rebuilding rosters and figuring out who's going to be your long term. I mean, a lot of talents weren't even agreeing to, 3 show advances because they're like, well, I don't know who I'm going to be. I don't know who else wants me. And it's like, damn, you can't even build storylines. Like you were just turning into like feature matches, and that's about it. It was a 2020. I mean, we were off to something, but man, it just got shut down so quick that we didn't really know where it was going to fall either. Like you didn't really know where anything was going to end up. And shit, man, we're back to square one with this whole thing now. So we'll see. Very different though, Basil. You're right. It's going to be very different when we come back. But it's a challenge. I was talking to Danny, and Danny's like, he's like excited for the challenge. He's like, actually look forward to the challenge of building new stars. Like he's like, I'm looking.
I mean, that's the whole point of the indies is to build those stars. So I think it's good that I think everybody was kind of resting on the laurels of like the indies did create it. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is going to be a real time to show like who's going to make new homegrown names that aren't just traveling all across the country.
Yeah.
Like who's going to really rise, who's going to take advantage of all these new spots, because there hasn't been a lot of spots in the indies, to be honest.
No. But it reminds me of it's 2011 wasn't 2010 was like one of the worst years of the indies because the same thing happened. Big scoop up. Everybody got signed away. If you think about look at WWE at the time and Impact at the TNA at the time, look who got scooped up off the indies in 2010. And it was like, and Ring of Honor too, for that matter. Everybody was decimated in 2010. 2011 was a very tough year for the indies. Same thing, like same feel. Like you had to rebuild. It took almost 2 years to kind of get back to like groove. Like here's indie people, and these are the people who are going to be on for a couple years, and you're going to get invested, and then they'll go on. But it took almost a couple years to get those people reestablished. Like we're in that same boat. The difference now is you have things like Twitter and Instagram, like your social media that helps people grow quicker. But the next couple of years are going to be very interesting, very, very interesting to see how the schools turn out students, who's ready, who gets signed where. But shows like yours, Chris, like who, you guys expose people to these new people who we've never heard of a lot of times. And it's going to be you're going to have so much. I think you'll be even busier if you guys keep doing it. You'll be so busy once it's come back because there's so many new people that are going to be looking to be exposed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. Like the new wave of people, trying to see who's your constant Chicago, wrestlers, Chicagoland wrestlers. Because I'm sure people are going to be, it's going to be trial and error.
A lot of that. Because you don't know who's going to gel, who's going to work, who's going to get over. I mean, that's the art of wrestling, but it's going to be if you're an indie wrestling fan, it's almost like it's scary, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's going to be a lot of fun to see who gets all the names you're about to see. And just like who gets tried out, who gets a shot, who never comes back, who doesn't cut it. Just a lot of names going to come up, and this is your next generation coming up. So we'll see where it goes.
It'll be good.
Yeah. Be fun, man. But yeah, Chris, anything else, man? Anything else going on with you guys? You want to plug anything? Any stories or any more? You sure you want to make up some drama with you and Charlie? Like just make up and shoot?
Fuck Charlie.
Fuck Charlie.
Oh man, I mean,
Charlie bit Chris's finger.
We just did a couple weeks back, we did a kind of reintroducing ourselves to the audience. I mean, surprisingly, like I thought, like for a while, like when we were, putting out episodes, like back in like April, May, like numbers started going down, just because it was a life change for a lot of people. Like I would listen to podcasts on my drive to work or on my drive back. So like all that time, even me listening to my regular podcast was kind of like, oh, when do I listen to this? Because I'm at home now. Exactly. And, I have a 5-year-old running around and doing different things. So I wouldn't listen to as many, but eventually you kind of found your groove, and you would see that also. I don't know if you guys saw that also with your listener base. Like all of a sudden, like our listener base started growing.
Same.
And it just starts going up, I guess, because people are like, okay, now I know that I'm home. I'm, doing, or going to work a few hours, whatever it is. Like people kind of found the normalcy in this abnormal time.
Yep.
So now you find routines, and now you're able to listen to stuff. So, we saw those numbers like at the end of the year. We were like, okay, the number of listens that we're getting is growing. Let's reintroduce ourselves to the listener base. So one of those things, one of the things that I mentioned in that episode is that like Charlie and I never like sat together and said, let's make a podcast. It just happened. AAW was the common ground for the both of us at the beginning. We knew of each other through mutual friends, and we linked up there. We watched shows, and he's always been about like, I want to do a podcast. I want to podcast, but be different. And I'm like, look, a lot of the wrestling shows that a lot of the wrestling stuff that I'm watching is indie shows. It's AAW constantly every month, making sure I get that front row seat. Like it used to be a fight back in the day. Like you had to make lines. Like I know Basil back in the day, his trick was to buy those tickets in advance at intermission.
At intermission,
yeah.
But then he started throwing the curveball of like, well, if you want to go to the next show or the next show, you have to get you would have to get to the show that you're attending like an hour early and make a line, and only a certain few will get tickets. So it was hard,
It made
but
it
like
exciting,
that was all part of the experience. Like that's where people in line. That's where I met Martin.
Oh, really?
Wrestling with unicorns.
Wow. Yeah.
Like
what I think. I mean, because I'm looking at something in your room that's reminding me of the show that proved who the diehards were, and that was that Cris Romero show.
Oh, dude!
Because I'm looking at the poster behind you right now.
I see it right there.
And this show was literally announced after that show that was supposed to be Ciampa and Gargano's last show.
Yes.
And it was announced afterwards, after that epic promo from Penta, and we all had to wait online. And I had buddies who came up from St. Louis. So like I bought everyone knew it's like, okay, Basil can get the tickets. So I bought, it was like me, my roommate, my buddy James, my buddy Jesse from Detroit. Like we all watched this shit together, and it was fucking fantastic.
It was a Thursday night show, right?
That was that Thursday night. We used to do Thursday night shows though.
I loved it, man. I would do it all over again.
On 2 weeks notice though, fucking wild. And that place was packed.
Bro, what a show though.
The Berwyn Eagles Club, like
oh man.
The smell, the people, the beer, it was a great atmosphere. And especially when super packed.
Well, it was great.
I'll do it all over again, Chris, man. All that sweaty.
Those Berwyn shows, man. Those are so fun.
Oh, I'll do it again any second.
Just for Berwyn tacos.
Damn, man. Memories. These memories are killing me now. Shit. No, dude, you're right. Chris, the smell right when you walked in, you knew where you were. Like if somebody's put that smell right in front of me right now, I'd be like,
put it in a cologne.
26th and Austin, Berwyn Eagles Club. The smell of mold and wood paneling.
Put it in a cologne.
Mold, wood paneling, and wrestling fans.
Make an Axe body spray of it. Not a cologne. Make an Axe body spray of it.
Just call it Eagles Club.
Eagles Club.
Fly with the Eagles Club. Nah, Chris, man, I'm telling you, bro, I would go through all over. And I hope we all get to do it again very, very soon, because those are great times. I'm sure every city, major wrestling city with indies, has something like this. But man, there's something special in Chicago. Everybody comes here, every promotion comes here for a reason. There's just something very special in this town where you meet lifelong friends, like I said, in line, sitting next to them at shows, sharing interests, being in merch lines together, taking a photo for somebody, and then I'll text it to you, and then boom, you're friends. You're going to shows together. All sorts of things, man. It is an amazing scene for that reason, and it's just I love. And I'm telling you, I keep putting you guys over. You and Charlie were like such OGs of helping unite this scene to start off. You really were, man. Like, I don't think you guys get enough credit in that sense. You guys really started bonding who the people were on the other side of the guardrail, and you're like, man, like, we're learning of other fans. Then people would see each other. Oh shit! Oh, yeah, I heard you on Two Is in the Face. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, you're so and so. Oh, that's nice. Good interview. Shit like that. Just you guys really were pioneers in that, man.
It was just one of those things that, like, again, like it all goes back to community, and I probably said that like 3 times already right now. But it's really down to that, like, because you're at these shows, you want to be there. It was, it was a great time, and you just got to know people, and their like. You got to see the best of all these people. That even includes the wrestlers. Like there's some wrestlers that now you realize that they were not that great, but because everybody was there, the energy was there, everybody was showing the best of themselves.
Yes.
Like then you just started to create community, and that was something that you would look forward to the next month. Attending an AEW event, whether that was in Berwyn or Bourbon Street or Logan Square.
Yep, dude. Anywhere. You're right.
Like anywhere in the city, like the crowds were not any different. Like they would go, like you were just talking about how people were coming from St. Louis.
Dude, all over. the Midwest,
all
you know?
over. I would have friends who would come in from St. Louis and Detroit constantly to come watch AAW shows back in the day. Like, it was, I mean, Chicago was that perfect middle mecca hub for wrestling, man.
It was. It's right in the middle. It's in the middle. You know, it's like right in that center point. Anybody can come here, and they would. But man, it was good times, and I'm excited to get back to it at some point because we need it. we
do. Yeah,
it's
we do.
Fun, man. It's something that it was our plans. It was our own world that we created in this scene, and I am honestly grateful to all the promoters who do it. You know, who put this scene out there. Obviously, I'm biased to AAW because of my loyalty and working there, but you know, credit to anybody putting stuff on. I mean, it's not easy. And we appreciate you don't know what you got till it's gone. You know, so
yeah,
like you miss all of it. You even miss the competition between the other groups, you know, like, man, who can draw who, or who can get this talent, this one. It's
and
I'll
that's
take
something
it all
we've
again.
always said. Like any show that you would go, as many promotions as there are in the Chicagoland region, every show is different. Every show you go to has a different atmosphere, and it could be the same people. Because we would see each other in different promotions.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere is completely different. And some people would say, like, oh, well, they share talent. And I'm like, fuck that. Like, yeah, like, you know, sure, same talent, a lot of places. But the overall experience of the show was different. Everybody was able to have some sort of, you know, whatever that is, that you knew you were going to a freelance show. You knew you were going to AAW. You knew you were going to, you know, Gali, and the show was not going to start on time. Like,
yeah.
You're like, I'll do it all over again. Though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I miss like everything that was annoying to us. Like, we miss.
Exactly. That's the funny thing. It's like even the shit that would bother me, I'm like, man, I'll put up with it now.
Yeah, I was like,
it's all good.
Throw me to a Warrior Wrestling show where it's extremely hot in a gym room.
Fuck it. You know? Who cares? Let's go.
Let's do it again.
I miss running up and down. I miss running back and like. I love that. I hope the Stadium Series stays, regardless if there's COVID or not.
That was great.
Those were so good. Those were my favorite shows last year. Were those?
No reason not to with those guys. I mean, you had the space.
Like,
you know?
I'll run back and forth from the fucking locker room to the football field, exhausted, dripping in sweat. I don't care. Like, I want it back.
I'll even take the fans who come and complain to me about something a wrestler said in a promo. I'll even take that back. You know, excuse me, how could you let him say that? I'm a little offended by this. I'm like, oh my god, this is a first. But
yeah,
are you in charge here? Did you know that he said this? And I'm from the South Side, and I'm offended by this. Like, wait, what? What did you say? I'll even take that guy back. You can complain to me anytime if you want. But cool, man. Let's start wrapping it up. I do have to make an appearance on another show tonight. Basil, get this. So Chad E&B, who does he was part of the 2-man Power Trip of Wrestling Network. Chris, have you heard of these guys? The 2-man Power Trip. They do like 1,000 shows a week. It's insane. They do like
what a power trip.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say what a power trip. I don't. No, I haven't heard of them, but I mean, I'm not surprised you know them since you're in other 1,000 shows a week.
It's these guys out. I mean, they do shows with like Kevin Sullivan and Tom Pritchard.
Oh, nice.
And all. I mean, big names, but they get everybody. I mean, they've been at us for a while. But anyway, one of their many shows is what they call a New Generation podcast, and it's all about WWF in the mid '90s. And Chad, who appeared on one of my shows, Chad also hosts Shane Douglas's podcast. He's his co-host. But he appeared on one of my shows, and he's like, hey, we want to do a New Generation podcast. And he's like, pick a topic. I'm like, first thing I thought of was Hakushi and Brett feud from 95. And I was like, I'll take that one. And he's like, all right, be ready to talk about it. I'm like, shit, do I have to watch some stuff to like get ready for this or what? So he's like, come on Monday evening. I'll throw you some lines. It's like a 15-minute thing. So we'll see what happens. I don't even know what I'm getting into. But Chris, plug everything, man. Get the where can they find the show? Where can we see your match with Charlie that's about to happen? When is that all going to happen? Like, all that stuff. Just get all the plugs in your individual Twitter.
All right. Well, first, let me thank you guys for letting me jump on here, unannounced, unpredicted. So, it's always good to, again, I see you guys on Monday nights. So glad you guys are doing this. Glad that you guys share the platform with me and just, kind of reminisce on, the great days of AAW. Where definitely like changed the trajectory of wrestling, at least in my eyes, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Again, AEW was a promotion to me that brought, Pentagon and Phoenix. And from there, it was just hard to keep them, coming back because it will get booked everywhere. So, but as far as, me, like, I'm at Compadre Cris. I am slowly getting back into Twitter. I left it for a while. But, I'm getting back in there. But you can, check out the show, twoheelsintheface.com. Anything you need will be there. All socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, 2 Heels in the Face, number 2 Heels in the Face.
That's great, guys. I'm telling you, follow them.
Make sure you hashtag push Paco.
Push Paco.
Right now we're doing hashtag Viva La Chico.
Dude, put all of it in there. Well, hey, Chris, even though you're last minute, I'm gonna even have Basil make the custom banner that we have here. We're gonna put a 2 Heels in the Face logo in there. Basil, there's your project for after we get off the air. Make a custom artwork for 2 Heels in the Face. We'll put that on the YouTube and everything. But
all right, well, thank you guys.
No, absolutely, bro. Thank you, Sam. For just a second, we'll wrap up here. But no, guys, follow 2 Heels in the Face. They are a positive cast. That's what you like to call it. I know, the positive cast. But it's a great insight to independent wrestling, and Chris and Charlie are just 2 of the greatest dudes I ever met. So please support their show, and we're gonna get you guys in a couple weeks. So both of you, we'll schedule it on to get you both in a couple weeks for sure. But
absolutely, we're down.
Cool, Basil. Where can they find your stuff, bruh?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, right here at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. All my photos can be found at basilmahmood.com. I don't know where I'm going to be at. We'll figure it out. Still don't know. Everything's a toss-up. Zach Bonifer. No, I'm not talking about that. Not going to even mention it. And he brought it up on there. So, but yeah. And then where could they find you, Trent?
You guys can get me at Trentberry over on Twitter, the show at the BSB Show, Twitter, Facebook, and on Instagram, the Backstage Boys Pod on Instagram. Follow the show on there. All audio formats: Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. We're on all of them. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, tell somebody who cares. Leave a cool comment. We'll read it on the air. Even leave a nice comment for us. We'll definitely put it out there. Twitch.tv/the BSB Show. And then youtube.com/ YouTube's not custom links. So just go to YouTube and just type in the Backstage Boys Podcast. We come right up. So give us a follow and all that, guys. We're back to Monday nights live. The time changes a little bit depending on what we're doing. So, but it's after 6 p.m. We'll be live on Monday. So if you don't like Raw, it's great. You come hang out with us. We'll try to line up the unicorns for next week. And if you don't know who they are, you're about to find out, because they are they've made some real waves on the scene. And then a couple weeks, Chris, we'll coordinate it with you guys to come back on, both of you, to have you guys at the same time. We'll just shoot the shit. Just
for sure. Let us know.
Awesome. Guys, thank you very much. Oh, prowrestlingtees.com/ the Backstage Boys. We got the great t-shirts up there. So get yourself a t-shirt. Hang out. Get your
buy that merch.
Buy that merch. I think they have a sale going on. 20% off. Promo code.
Is it still going on?
Super Bowl. New sale.
I think that ended today.
Oh, too bad. All right. So anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with Chris. Thank you very much, bro. We appreciate it. Well, guys, we'll see you next week. Until then, stay tuned. Have a great week. Stay warm. Chicago's very bitterly cold, so be careful out there, everybody. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.